Hello wonderful people, my name is Valentine Muga and welcome to Talk It Show. Welcome to Talk It Show on Royal Generation TV. My name is Valentine Muga and I'm your host for today. On board we have with us a guest, Sharon, and before she introduces herself and tells us more about her, please make sure you follow us on our social media handles. They're on the display right below the screen. Welcome. So Sharon, welcome.
Thanks. My name's Sharon Monica Amundi, and I'm a psychologist working with sustainable integrated services for communities. We work a lot with communities and adolescents, and we work with what affects them, what affects the communities and the adolescents, and we also try to find sustainable ways that they can use skills or techniques, if we can call them, that they can use to enhance themselves in life and also to make informed decisions.
Okay, Sharon, so today guys we are going to be talking about loyalty tests. I'm sure you've all seen videos on loyalty tests, what it's about. So what we want it to trickle down to is what is loyalty test telling us about the community, telling us about the kind of relationships young people are having, the effects that it is also bringing out, even when she's talked about adolescents, the young adolescents and the adult adolescents, how is it affecting them generally? So Sharon, first of all, probably you'd give clarity on who adolescent really is.
Well, for us psychologists, adolescent falls from age 13 to 24.
Nice.
But I guess according to the Kenyan system or any other system, or according to the Kenyan system, it falls from 12 to 18. And I guess in the US, it's up to 16 years. So.
Yeah, so following through on that, I know most of us, when we hear psychologist is handling adolescents, if you're a young adult, you probably think this show is not for you. But here we are dealing from age of 13 years to 24 years old. So tuck tight, this is still your show. So on loyalty tests, we were talking about loyalty tests and we were like, should this show be actually open to everyone, or should it actually be on parental guidance?
Personally, I think I have mixed feelings about this loyalty test show, because on the other side, probably it's depicts what the kind of society we are living in and the kind of relationships we have, and then on the other side, it also kind of feeds fear in maybe young people, because this show, anyone who's on TikTok, anyone who is able to open YouTube or any other channel can see it. It doesn't have any guidance or anything. So you can imagine somebody who is 12 years, not in a relationship yet, watches all these series, and every episode there's a lie, there's disloyalty, you know. So they'll be like, I don't think relationships are meant for me or anything.
So it plants already an idea that is actually it's not the case. It's not the ideal case that is happening.
Yeah.
It's giving a negative feedback about relationships. And when you look at all the videos, one thing about that is common about all the videos, I found all the videos, they usually have chaos.
Yeah.
All of them are chaotic. Is it now that are we poor at handling relationships as youths and adolescents? Is it that we're that poor? Can't we find good, meaningful relationships? So is it that we are bad or poor at handling relationships and actually just having healthy relationships that are good for not only one party but both parties, and that we can have and uphold our values and moral standards as a society? what exactly is the problem? Is it that is it the relationships? Is it the individuals? What is it, the society? Whom are we blaming? It's just, can you help us please, Sharon? How do we go about this?
First of all, when we talk about, I don't think anybody is poor in handling the relationship, but it all trickles down to, do you have emotional intelligence? Because there is where you know, like, if something happens, how will I act? How will I react? Are my senses intact in that I know when to run, I know when to stay still, and I know when to just fight, you know? It's not everything that you fight about. It's not, and even if you have to fight about some things, it won't make sense, or it just won't. Because at the end of the day, even if you fight, like you're saying, there's a lot of chaos.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of chaos.
Let me get an example of one man who really beat a lady badly because the lady was cheating with the dad, I think. And it's like this guy, even if will beat this lady, at the end of the day, they won't get back together. Fine, we understand that you're hurt, your feelings are so valid, but your reactions at the end of the day will not be justified.
Okay, so what Sharon is talking about is how do we handle bad nini? How do we handle something that is affecting us negatively? If you found out that your girlfriend is not loyal to you, your boyfriend is not loyal to you, how do you handle it? In most cases, we've seen people who are aggressive in the wrong way. At one particular point, there are people who are beating each other, hurting each other. We've had suicidal rates going high. That is self-harm. And then we've had now the lovers who are killing each other. So the one thing that she's highlighted that is very important is, how do you deal with the negative news that has affected you badly? What is your first reaction? So how do we go about it? How do we improve how we respond to negative things that we don't expect from people whom we've given our trust?
First of all, let me take you way back. This relationship, these two people came from different backgrounds. Probably whatever they witnessed from their homes or from just the community they live in won't be the same as the other person. If, for example, you take a lady who grew up in a loving home, watching the parents loving each other, even if they have problems, they would sort it away from the kids and everything. So the kids are just left to see that happy faces and every other thing until they grow old. Now, this lady, what she knows is that relationships are meant to last. Relationships are meant to be, people are meant to be loyal. They are meant to solve their problems. They are meant to blah, blah, blah. You know, all those things that really make a relationship their relationship.
Yes.
So, and then you get a guy who comes from a broken home, watched his dad beating the mom or the mom abusing the dad. This person has learned something. And maybe it hurt him or it hurt her so much that he or she built up walls and everything. So when they're going into a relationship, they are already going there when they're in the defensive mode. They get into the defensive mode. Once they're there, they will either cheat in the name of having plan B, you know.
Yeah, true.
In the name of having plan B, so that if this other one doesn't work out, I'm running to this other one. At least I have like a shoulder or something to lean on.
Yeah.
Secondly, they would just do something. They won't be, okay, they won't give their affections. Yes, they do love you, but they won't give their affections like, you see, like those people who buy flowers, tell you I love you all the time, or want to hug you. There'll be those people who give you tough love, you know.
Yes.
they might abuse you, they might beat you up, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you. Yani, you do something and they are already fighting you. You know, they are ready for war.
Yeah.
So if you get into a relationship with somebody like that, you can't expect much more from this person. You can't expect that person to kind of come and just embrace you when you're... Remember, this person already is tough from the inside.
Yes.
So this toughness, it cannot be shed just because you're shedding tears or you're telling them, oh, I love you, or I want you to buy me flowers. It's not their thing. It's not their thing.
Yeah.
So we have people coming from different... The society is like that nowadays. Whatever we learn from our childhood affects us and is what we take to our adulthood.
Yeah.
If you didn't trust your guardians or your parents while growing up, there's no way you're going to...
Or they didn't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way they are going to trust their partners in life. Because the person who was supposed to be their whole world didn't give that trust or didn't nurture that trust in them.
Yes.
So already when they're going into a relationship, they'd be like, najua nabebwa ufala hapa. So they would tell you,
that's so common,
I love you.
True. Yeah, that's so common and true.
Both of them would be like, I love you, but at the back of their head or mind, they're like, najua nabebwa ufala. So you find yourself cheating, doing some stuff, or you won't be available for that relationship. It's like you're not creating time for it because already you judged it that it's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sharon, the things that you've highlighted there, it's like you are reading my mind, question after question, because at that point she's talked about background of people who come from dysfunctional families. Functional families whereby, as she said, you have a loving home, you have loving parents, problem solving is very cultured and couth. But we have this other side that the background it's a little bit dysfunctional, and probably the mother has a problem. Those who have parents who are probably drunkards, we have alcoholic parents, or we have sober parents, but they just can't fix their problem appropriately. So we have the gender-based violence happening in the home. We have frustrations on frustrations. We have probably this broken family and the father went on and married another woman. And so you're thinking probably this is how it's supposed to be. So, and all these things, they keep registering in your mind. They keep registering in your mind such that by the time you realize, when you go into these relationships that are being depicted in the loyalty test, whether they're staged or not, I believe they still echo what is there in the society. They're still giving a mirror, they're still reflecting back on what is the society is actually happening in the society. So as we've heard, if you at a personal level, you've not dealt with you've not dealt with the whatever baggage you came from in that dysfunctional family, the suppressed heart, the built on wrong idea of a relationship. If you don't deal with that at an early stage, it's not going to go so well. That's why we now have people who don't trust each other, as she explained. And one question that has been bugging my mind, so how comes when someone in this era, how comes when someone is the one who has done the wrong thing, they don't feel remorse, they don't feel apologetic, they feel tough? That's when they're feeling embraced. Instead of, because me, I thought if you're caught on the wrong, it's not okay for you to still be aggressive and be shouting, yes, I did it. It's like you're proud of a wrong thing, because I've seen it in so many videos going viral with the fights. It's like they're proud of it and they're calling it like that is now kukua pro, you know. Mi sizilia juu ya mwanaume, ai kuna wanaume huku nje, sijui nini, nilikuwa na mbaba, utafanya nini, haunipeangi pesa. Like, people are proud of these things that are not actually okay. What's the problem? Like, how come somebody doesn't feel remorse over doing something that is wrong and is proud of it? It's like being proud of toxic traits.
When this person is found out, their ego is bruised. So this ego, of course, is going to be on the defensive side. So all these things, they're like so utadu or nini. It's not that they're proud of whatever happened. They actually feel ashamed, but because they're on the defensive mode, they are like, I have to stay strong. I have to stay Taliban.
Yeah, staying Taliban. Staying Taliban.
They actually feel bad because remember, this thing is being aired.
Yeah, true.
And everybody is watching, or a good percentage is watching. Maybe their parents are going to watch it, and maybe the lecturers and whatnot. It doesn't make them feel proud of what they do. Nobody is ever proud of any bad thing they do. But, or rather, they'd rather take the defensive side in that, wacha nikai Taliban.
Kambaya
Yeah. It has
Kambaya.
already, you're going like, it has already happened, so what do we do? But at the end of the day, I can guarantee you like 99% of these people would go to bed at the end of the day and cry out or regret or just feel some type of way about themselves, and then in the morning they'd put on their defensive hats again and walk so proud, but it's not. Remember, their ego has already been crushed. Because somebody who has emotions, I think if it was me, I would have just fainted. Because I think there are always crowds surrounding you. There are those, nobody wants to be found out in their sin.
Yeah, true. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay. So, mentioning on that issue of people wearing masks, it's something that it has been so rampant. It's everywhere. People not being themselves, like people not being them real selves. I think that is the main reason why at this point of time, in this era, we can't really have meaningful friendships and relationships. Because people are faking it out here, and everybody's like, fake it till you make it. I don't think that is applicable in all places, because we are now being more mechanical. And that's why
there shouldn't be anything like fake it until you make it. It should be faith it until you make it.
Wow. Now, guys, that's the new line. It's not fake it until you make it, but faith it until you make it. Let's stop wearing the masks, guys, because I feel like if you keep on cocooning yourself inside this thing, that's when now somebody meets the real you. Because if you're in a relationship with someone, at some point, the real you will come out. And
that's you is always on denial. You know, as human beings, there's that part of us that we don't like. We either project it on someone else, or we just hide it and pretend like it doesn't exist. That is why we go into relationships with a lot of baggages, our past, our what. If, for example, you find a dad who was a drunkard, and this lady is bound to get into a bad relationship because maybe with a drunkard himself or anything. At the end of the day, this lady has baggages. Maybe she hated the dad for drinking. She hated the dad for beating up the mom. She hated everything about the parents. But because of that anger and everything, she has not dealt with everything. She would take it to the relationship. The man, you just, unajua ile mtu anaongeanga tu kidogo and you're already up there.
Yeah.
So
it's
you
triggered.
meet people like that. Yeah. So they trigger that anger. But you see, this man will not know that I have triggered something in this lady.
Yeah, true.
So atasema, maybe something about the dad, or it might be a joke, but she won't understand that. She'll go overboard, way overboard about it.
I think people should just be real about themselves. If someone is for you, genuinely for you, if you are real, they should be able to accept you. Because I'm just thinking how hard it is to have to display a person that is not you full time, like that should be so hard. I don't know how people make it out here faking it, because free yourself. Don't be afraid of actually being who you are. That who you are could be what the world really needs to light up, but you're there hiding it because of probably you're thinking, if I tell them that if I tell this guy that I'm actually having this issue, they'd not listen to me, they'll run away. At this particular point, I want Sharon to help us. Sharon, I want just you to help someone who's in that space of, yes, me, I have been the toxic one in this relationship. I've been the one who's who doesn't want to understand, who doesn't want to be told, who doesn't want to admit on my mistakes. I've been that person, you know. You're there and you're saying, me by the Valentine, I've been that person. Me, I on 100%, me, I'll go with that mbaba out, and I'll still tell my boyfriend there's nothing there's nothing he gives me. So why should I just be there and be loyal and be faithful? Because I need to wear these types of dresses, I need to do my nails, I need to do my hair, and you're not giving me all that. So yes, me, I'm that person, and I am staying Taliban. But whatever you've mentioned about that crushed ego, or that bit where I lose my morals and I'm starting to regret it, I'm starting to feel like, no, I wish I would go back and be that straight up type of a girl, that straight up type of a guy, to my lover, or to the one I'm hoping that I'll have forever with. You know, something to help me go back to believe in true love. You know, you're that person, Sharon. How can you help us? How can you help us? How can we go back to, how can we deal with our problems? Know that you are a psychologist. How can you help us?
First of all, self-awareness is important. Some of these people are angry. They don't know they're angry. They would play out through their doings and everything. But they don't know they're doing it out of anger. So when you're aware of yourself, I'm aware of myself that I'm angry about 1, 2, 3. I need to solve this. Why am I angry? Why am I still angry about certain things that happened in the past? Why am I still angry about my past relationship? Why am I still angry or frustrated about my kids or any other thing, you know? So self-awareness is important. You need to know yourself. You need to know what triggers your anger. You need to know what you're angry about. You need to know what this person is doing that is actually triggering now that.
Even the hurts.
That, yeah. Those hurts that you have inside, that you mask them with the, it's like getting a rotten cake and then putting an icing on top of it. You know, you'll eat the icing. At the end of the day, you won't eat the cake itself, because it's rotten. So you need to like work on yourself. Work on yourself before you walk into a relationship. You need to know that I have 1, 2, 3 problems. I don't want to carry it into my next relationship, or I don't want to carry it in even into a new relationship, because it will bring problems. Okay,
what about those of us who are already in that relationship and we have realized, by the way, I am the problem? Now, do we back off? Do we, how do you go about that?
I believe you're still young, like way way too young, but if you can back off, like just take 2 steps backwards, and you feel like you need to work on yourself first, do it.
Guys, if it's not, I usually tell people, a short-term pain that is for your good is nothing compared to the long-term pain of having to deal with brokenness in a relationship, because you just didn't take those 2 steps behind to go and work on yourself. I know it does, everybody, even me, a while back, if you told me, Val, retreat, you have to take care of yourself first, I'd be like, do you know how much I've invested in this relationship? All those hours, you know, like
the gifts,
everything. How am I leaving all this behind? But trust me, you don't want to be one of those people 5 years or 10 years down the line, you're going for a divorce. You guys are signing up a divorce. You have your children. They're there. They're wondering what is wrong with my parents. I thought, you know, I thought you were a whole family, and your children are going to get to get affected by all this, and at that time there's no time for fixing it because it's already broken and there are people who are already affected. So when you fast forward and you think of where you're headed to, you'd want to actually take the step back and work on yourself, as Sharon has told us to. And so I wanted to ask a question, baby. Now, when we are young and we're in the heat of emotion and we are being advised, or I know even everyone can relate to this, at least if you've stepped into relationships and you've found yourself in bad relationships. When you go to somebody who's senior, probably seeking advice, you know, and you're like, I'm not feeling as if I'm in a safe space, I don't think things are going okay, and you are being told it's too early for you to actually be in a relationship, would you just take steps back, just as you had told us? But then there's just that thing of, I know, you know, this is my time. How can you tell me not to be in a relationship? Hey, well, kina nani tukae single kwa nini? You know, no, we are not staying single. You don't know what you're saying. Let me just go and talk to maybe kina Karo au watanielewa. Me, these adults probably they're just too old to listen to me. I just think probably somebody who's in the same stage as me would listen to me. And then you go to your friend. Those of us, our friends, our best BFF, yeah? Our BFF. BFF, I mean, me, there's no way I can leave this guy. I'm really in love with him, you know. Ama weni hapo, maboys mnasemanga aje manzemi mama mimi nimemkufia. Me, hakuna venye, banze hakuna venye neza mtoka, you know, for me, this is her for me. You know, how comes we are so rigid, we are so stubborn? And then afterwards, when we actually get hurt, that's when we are like, what did I see in this guy? How comes at that time it was so hard for me to pull off? What happens? Like, I don't understand that period. So we have stages of relationships, but I won't go all the way into that. Okay. There's this stage in a relationship where sasa unajua somebody black and white. Like, you know, this guy is untidy, this guy is not loving, this guy will never tell me I love you, this guy is when you ended up with a tough love,
you know, yeah. But at the end of the day, people tend to stay in such kind of a relationship because, especially kama imesha kwa for a long time, they stay in such kind of a relationship because they feel I've invested. And it's not just material investment, it's emotions. Imagine you wake up every day choosing to love this person every single day, and then there's also that part where now you want to bring the good things from the past, yes, and fix and patch them. You know, it's like ingoi meraruka hapa, kuna ka material kazuri, wacha nikapatch hapa. Yeah. You patch it there, but it still won't. Let me give an example. You see, like I do field work a lot, so when you wear your jeans, it tends to wear out in the middle. Yeah, very true, because of friction and too much walking and whatnot. But you see, when it tear from there, you can't shona it like something that has just tore, ni kama imeraruliwa na wembe ama something. It's your friction imeimaliza kabisa. You can't take a needle and nini ukieka patch, so when you see it and you see it anyhow, everybody's going to see like there's a patch, there's a hole somewhere. That is what you're talking about. You're taking your past, the good things from your past, you're patching it there. At the end of the day, you're not even happy. You are not happy. You'll be walking here. There's a natural glow of being in a happy relationship. Wow, guys, natural glow. Kuna kwanga tu nakale ka glow. Yani when you're in a safe space, you're happy are they who are in the safe space. when there's this sweet love and everything, yeah. But then there's a depressed face. You're walking. For your friends, no, let me not say people, friends or people who are close to you will actually notice it and will tell you, in as much as you're there smiling and all that, they'll tell you actually, Valentine, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? Yeah. So you see, it doesn't work that way. But yeah, we cannot force you to come out of that relationship, cannot pull you out. What pulls you out is the consistent bad behavior of this other person, or the inconsistencies that are there in the relationship, or just things not working out. You know, when you're waking up every day and you're struggling and you're struggling, yani it's like you're waking, somebody is stomaching, you're waking up every morning hoping that you're going to get a job. Same thing with the relationship. You're hoping that this person will change. You're hoping, okay, today is a new day, this person is going to be a different person. But every single day, it's like it gets worse. And let me tell you, you're bottling up. You're bottling today's hurt, you're bottling tomorrow's hurt, and the other days, itafika mahali, utalipuka. True. So when you finally burst out your emotions, at the end of the day, you realize, actually, I'm not gaining anything. I'm not gaining anything. My friends were right. My parents were right. I need to stay away. For ladies, they usually walk out emotionally first. It's like you're there. Today you feel like, I'm not in love with this person anymore. So unaweza kaa hapo, you'll hear some other ladies would say, I'm just waiting to get a job. Or I'm just waiting to do this, or I'm just waiting to stabilize something, and then I'm walking out. Somebody like that already stepped out of that relationship emotionally years back.
Wow.
They are long gone. They are long gone. Those are the type of people their spouses would enter and will just be like a statue in the house. Like, do whatever you want. You want to cheat, go and cheat. Yeah. But when they leave, that's it. Like, we are done here. We are completely done.
And okay, that reminds me, can you talk about closure? There's this thing now about, you know, I want to leave. You know, finally, you have come to a realization that this is actually not happening and it's not working for me. I was stuck here for a long time, hoping that this probably the loyalty test came out and it came out badly, even worse than you had expected it, right? But now we're talking about closure. I believe, for me, I believe that everyone deserves a good closure. You know, people out here just walking out, ghosting each other. They don't care how it ends. You know, it's like somebody told this generation, if you're no longer involved with this person, they're your enemy. I don't know who told everyone, but we can have decent closures and you guys can still be in good terms. You don't have to fight. You don't have to look at each other like enemies. It's like the next minute if you held a gun, you'd actually blow up in someone's head just because you had a relationship and it did not work. You know, probably you'd address about closure. You know, since you've spoken about, now we have finally accepted that this is not working and we're actually leaving. How do you go about closure?
You see, for a woman, I'm now talking about a woman because I understand women from my point of view. I'm a woman. And when you walk out of a relationship, the first time emotionally, the moment you step out physically, you're everything already heals. Yani, you've hurt in that relationship. You have accepted in that relationship that things are not working out. Mpaka you are now going back to the fact that I need a life of my own.
Yeah.
The moment you actually say I need a life of my own, you are healing. Remember, you've mourned while in this relationship. You've mourned all the hurts that this person has put you through. You've reached a place that I think I've mourned enough and I need to continue with my life. You've healed in this relationship. So the moment you're walking, remember, you are walking out of that relationship already healed. I'm talking from a woman's perspective because I've done that.
Yeah.
The moment you walk out of that relationship already healed. So ukienda huko nje, in as much as maybe you wouldn't want to get into another relationship because of course there's that fear, there's still that hurt. Now the hurt we are talking about is, I can't believe it has ended.
Yeah, True. Oh no, I get your point.
I can't believe now it has ended. So when you're walking out, you're still hurt that you've walked out, but you're not hurt because this person is doing 1, 2, 3, or this person was doing 1, 2, 3. You're already healed from whatever this person was doing. So when you step out, you are healed, you're moving on with your life, you are maybe making heavens and earth move.
Okay. No, my main question was, okay, when I come and say, okay, for example, let me now imagine, let's do a little bit of drama, guys. I'm the one who's now the lady, and now I'm coming to this guy and I'm telling you, by the way, this is no longer working, and I think we're better off apart. And this guy's like, where's niacha hivyo? See, there are guys who don't want to let you go and they're hurting you. So, mi wezi niacha hivyo Shaz. Nimekufanyia vitu mingi sana. Ukuje uniambia ati sijui unatoka unaenda wapi?
So we are talking about narcissism sasa.
You know, unatoka unaenda wapi? You know, and then there's those people whom you'll tell them that and they now want to gaslight you.
I know.
They want to gaslight you. They're like, so you finally admitting that you have found someone else?
Or you've been cheating.
You've been cheating, and now you want to cover it up and you want to run away. You're finally admitting that you've been using me and wasting my time instead of you telling me earlier. Like, how do you go about this closure of, by the way, somebody just accepting?
Now that is projection.
No. Okay.
When I think most of us are always scared of maybe telling our partners that this thing is no longer working.
No, we're scared.
Because number one, maybe we are afraid of hurting your feelings. Maybe you've been there. Imagine a lady who's been there for you, has done a lot of things for you, has maybe paid your college, has done blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't want to all of a sudden tell this lady, you know what, I no longer have feelings for you. So you'll be cheating, but it's not that you also love this lady. You're actually there because of
there's this thing about just having a concern for someone and actually just loving being there for them, not actually
but
in
love. You're not really in love. You wouldn't want to spend the rest of your life with them.
True.
Then there's a narcissist. You're dealing with a narcissist here. if there's some people
narcissist.
When you're dealing with a narcissist, it's not an easy thing to tell them, actually, this thing is not working out. First of all, hapo ndio unapatanga so many people kill the other person.
True.
Or there's that gaslighting, like you're saying. Then there's projection. Ni wale watu wenye, they'll actually make you feel bad for saying that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be like, you know what, Valentine, I've done so much for you. They're not seeing the wrong side, the reason why you are actually walking out. They want to talk about the cars they bought you. They want to talk about the shoes, the house, the everything they've bought you.
They want to talk about that time when you were weak, and they're the only people you could turn to.
Exactly. Now it's like they want they're projecting that to make you actually feel bad, to make you feel like you're the wrong one. Yeah. So it depends. People walk out quietly because of so many stuff. But if you're dealing with a mature mind, somebody who is has a clear mind, somebody who is emotionally intelligent, it's so easy to tell this person. Yes, they are going to feel bad and try to question why you were doing that, and maybe try to bring in the good times you've had, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, they'll just say, if that's your choice, then I can't. Yeah, they'll try to fight for it, but at the end of the day, they won't push for it.
Yeah.
If that is your decision.
True.
So major nowadays, first of all, now that I've talked about even narcissism, we are dealing with narcissists. Like, I think 50% of relationship today are based on narcissistic traits.
That's scary.
Because I can't imagine you'll sleep with somebody today, tomorrow they'll kill you in the morning. We need to be open-minded. Like, we need to be open-minded. Let's be open-minded and say, if this doesn't work out, there are so many men, say that it's raining men. There are men out there ready to love you for who you are. As long as you are open and say, this thing is not working out, this is not the only lady, this is not the only man, I can always find a better person.
It's learning to let
we are
go.
Stuck. Yani, this generation is stuck. That thing that you have something small, but you don't want to let it go. Yani, you don't want to let it go. I wouldn't understand your reasons. Maybe it's because there's that guilt you feel, this person has done so much for you and all that. But move to better things. There are always better things out there. There are always, if you can't find satisfaction in a spot or in a place or in a house, just move. It won't be easy. It's not like waking up and saying, okay, today I'm moving away from Kibera and then I'm going to which posh place, Karen. You see, it's not as easy. We will be hurt in the process. We are going to deal with so much, but now let me bring that phrase yenye watu wanatumianga, lia kama ambulance ukienda. But just make sure at the end of it all, you deal with yourself. You deal with those hurt.
Cool
accept that you're hurt. Accept that you are the problem if you are the problem, or if this other person was the problem. Like, if possible, write them down. Say, I did this wrong. He did this wrong. It's like you're weighing. You're putting something in a weighing. Mpaka zikuwe balanced. You need to have that balance in life.
Yeah, true. That was so much. Mimi nimeshikilia hapo kwa lia kama ambulance ukifanya nini? Ukiendanga. My guys, usikae mahali na unaumia. Tunalia kama ambulance tukisonga. There are always better things to get in life. What I usually tell people is expand on your vision. Keep on exploring, keep on going out there. You'll meet people with relationships that are working. You'll meet people with 10 years, 20 years down the line. They're happy couples. They're having children who are having happy marriages. And these people are still in this world that loyalty tests is tearing down their relationships and their friendships. Well, these people are still in the same world, but choose to actually focus on those people who are making it out there with right, meaningful relationships. If you're in that spot where right now you're in a dark place, you're crying, you're hurting, you're feeling disappointed, you're actually maybe the toxic person, it's okay. Solve it. Go on that journey alone. Retreat. Tumesema retreat. And then ukisikia unalia kama ambulance, ukienda wapi, ukisonga mbele to the greener pastures. So there are greener pastures, my guy. So how do we sasa siafuta cut obviously. And finally, as we wrap it up and call it a show, I want Sharon, you look straight into the camera and probably give your final word or your advice about this loyalty test that is going on. Give us something.
About loyalty tests, as I said before, I have mixed feelings about it because it's good and it's bad. It's good in that it actually shows what kind of relationships we have nowadays in the society. There are people that we can't trust, and it also shows that we personally or the individuals have a lot more issues going on in them that they need to work on before going into a relationship. On the flip side of it, it actually sends signals of fear into these young people who probably watched it live or are just watching it on the social media. It actually gives them that scare of being in a relationship that if young people like these are cheating and doing stuff like this, then I'm already scared for relationships. But let us also understand that these people are still young. They're trying to explore their options of spouses. They're trying to explore, okay, is this one good, is this one bad? So it's kind of mixed, because should people, it actually brings the question of while we are still dating, should we be dating other people, or should we stick to this one person who we have until something happens and move, or something just comes up, or we'll now decide that it's not working anymore. So it actually boils down to that question. Yeah, and I think well, that guy is doing a good job of cleaning the streets. But also, when you're going to a relationship, just understand who you are before you walk into any relationship. Understand who you are, understand what you need to actually avoid all these chaos that are happening around. So that's all I have for today.
All. Okay, so guys, I hope you had a good time and enjoyed the conversation. You got 1 or 2 takeaways that are going to help you for your lifetime. Probably it's been a lifesaver conversation. That's why we are Talk It Show on Real Generation TV. We got you guys. Until next time, and we are going to have Sharon back again on the show on demand, of course. Till next time, guys. Bye.